So that one time in 2009, I was in a movie. Welcome back to another Walk and Talk with your host Crypto Father. It's Thursday morning today, and as you can see, the unfortunate situation of our location is sweeping back up on us. We're back in the red in terms of dust cover. I was just explaining to Liam this morning why the indicators for Canada, Winnipeg, and even Toronto are always in the green, and why the indicators for South Korea, or our location in particular, are usually in the yellow and quite often in the red. And the simple reason is Canada is a big country with relatively few people, comparatively few people, fewer cars, and very little industry. Korea is a very tiny country with a huge number of people, comparatively, a lot of cars and a lot of factories, and therefore pollution. His response was, aha! During all these walks and talks, I take my dog for a walk, and as any dog walker well knows, there's things that need to be picked up, and I do that every time I'm here. I just don't stop and show it because it's not necessary. But the baggie is here. Anywho, this week went by very quickly, as usual. It's always surprising and baffling. It's Thursday already. This week marked another couple of releases of pretty good videos, I think. The first one on last weekend was the climbing video, the second part of the climbing video, which will be followed by a third part. Our Monday podcast episode went pretty well. We announced where I was covering the incident that took place in Ulsan here. Peter Muffet, I believe his last name is, and his family went through an ordeal that's unimaginable, and I talked about it in the Monday podcast. We talked about it a little bit, and the link to help the family out is listed under the podcast video as well. Basically, what happened to Peter and his family, the home burned down, and they lost everything. And Peter, as a result, is in the hospital, suffering from serious burns. His family, his children are fine, his wife's fine, but he's in serious condition, and they're struggling now. So Ulsan Online, the local website, community-driven website, has arranged a fundraiser for the family to help them out, to cover some of the costs and help them out through this hard time. So if there's anybody out there watching and who hasn't done so yet, please go to the website and you can donate some money. There is a link below. I'll attach a link below this video, as well as you can find a link underneath our 10th episode of the Hagwon Startup Podcast. On Wednesday, I released another short video about climbing related, and I was on the weekend on Saturday, last weekend. We went down to Yangsan, where my wife dug up an interesting little gem, an indoor climbing gym, which is strictly geared to children. It's a very children-friendly place with very easy to start climbs. They strap on the harnesses on their kids, and the kids can scamper up on any walls and clip in and unclip from the safety pins very quickly, easily. So it's a lot of fun. It's not the cheapest of places, but it's good. So that was a Wednesday video. Today, I believe it was 2009, the movie Ma이웨이. Ma이웨이 was directed by South Korea's biggest movie director presently in existence. It starred a couple of famous actors and myself. I'll give you a quick little synopsis to what transpired during the movie, and what the ordeal was and how I was involved, and then I'll show you the quick scene and some of the shoots and some of the photos. So the movie, the scene that I was in was shot in a location called Gunsan, and it's in the southwestern part of South Korea. It's located on the peninsula, it's located on the coast of the peninsula, and it was shot during the month of February, I believe, which means it was pretty damn cold. It was a week-long shoot for myself. The movie clearly, obviously, was shot over much longer periods and actually was shot in other parts of the world as well. This particular bit was shot in South Korea, but the movie was shot in its entirety, I believe, partially in Lithuania, which explains why a large number of the cast were Lithuanian. The scene takes in a prisoner camp, a war prisoner camp. That was a Russian prisoner camp which held Japanese prisoners that were captured. And I don't remember which war it was, actually, to be honest, which is quite embarrassing. But nonetheless, I had two parts in the movie. One was an indistinguishable guardsman wearing, the appropriate guard's uniform. And the other one, the part that actually put me on the screen, was taking on the part of a Russian officer. And my role was to deliver a very important message coming from the head office of the Russian Empire. And the message was being that message was being delivered to the Russian general. And here it goes.
Вам срочная телеграмма из штаба. Каждый получает обмундирование! Получай одежду! Уроды!
Германия напала на Советский Союз. Товарищ Сталин дал вам последний шанс. Право выбора за вами. Желающие, одевайте форму советской армии.
가서 군복 가져와. 빨리 가져와.
Антон, это для тебя хороший шанс. Вернись победителем.
Слушай, Советский Союз!
Молодец.
Товарищ начальник!
This was a week-long adventure. The days were very cold. The work was quite hard for the other extras. Myself and all the uniformed captains and soldiers were lucky enough to have the thick uniforms to keep us warm in the cold weather. There was no real snow. All the snow you see in the movie, or not the entire movie, but that particular scene, is fake. But the temperatures are real. And the prisoners were real. And some of the shaking that you see in a movie is real. The first day on the set, the prisoners were given summer prisoner clothing, camp clothing, summer clothing for the prisoners. And of course, it wasn't summer, it was winter. But that meant that they spent the entire day standing in short sleeves and shivering like little ducks in the water. I don't know if ducks actually do that, but on the second day, half these guys were gone and new men were brought in to replace the ones that disappeared with colds and hypothermia. But luckily on the second day of the shooting, the team provided the movie extras with some proper clothing to keep them warm, which, should have been done on the first day, but hasn't been. Andy Warhol said, everyone gets their 15 seconds of fame. I appeared once on television in Canada a long time ago while I was doing a language exchange program between the province of Quebec and Winnipeg. And myself and another person, my partner, we were working on the project together on that particular group. were on the local television, just kind of explaining a little bit about the project. And we were on there for about 10, maybe 5 minutes, maybe less. And then the second time on TV, I was working in Vancouver as a movie extra as well, and I was shooting an introductory, a pilot for a TV series, which was later put on TV, and I did see myself standing in the background. So I actually received a little bit more than 15 seconds of fame, but I'm still not famous. So yeah, this is the little story of me being in a movie here in South Korea. Hope you enjoy that. Hope you looking forward to a fabulous weekend. Hopefully the weather changes, hopefully the dust subsides, and but the temperature remains. It's not too cold today, it's quite nice. Remember to like, hit the notification button, leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the weekend for the release of another climbing video. Laters.